welcome to Sunset's Ponies. I'm Sunset, and this is my co-host Sestra. So normally I review a lot of My Little Pony items. Bye, Sestra. So this is a slightly different thing for me. I do My Little Pony of all generations, and lately there have been a lot of reproductions from the toy company Basic Fun, who has a license with Hasbro to do retro versions of the vintage My Little Ponies. So we have something unusual today. Some of you may recognize this if you're fans of Stranger Things, which I was not until recently. I only just started watching it because of this connection, though I do have to admit I did quickly fall in love with it, even though horror is not really my thing, but it is kind of horror light. If you're interested in trying it out, if you're not already a fan, to me it's very much like the Goonies, if the Goonies was a little more horror and a little less adventure. That's the way it feels to me. So there's 2 seasons so far, and the 3rd season is getting ready to drop on Netflix on June the 4th. And there is a tie-in for this season, and apparently a character is going to be into My Little Pony. So these are coming out now at Target. The set date is for June the 30th, but some Targets are already putting them out, such as my local Target. So I have 2. I'm actually going to do a giveaway for one of these, and I'll tell you more about how to win this pony at the end of the video. So I'm going to put her aside. So this is the Stranger Things Applejack, and you can see already she's upside down in the box, which in the show, I don't think it's a huge spoiler. There's a thing called the upside down. That's why she's like this, and her color is off. The whole packaging is not like the regular Basic Fun ponies, which I actually have. This is the regular Basic Fun retro reproduction, and this one is also Applejack. So you can see automatically the packaging is different. The pony herself is different, in addition to being upside down. You can also notice that her symbol is upside down on the pony. So when she's upside down in the package, the apples are facing correctly, but once I get her out, then they will be upside down also. So just a quick comparison. That's the front. On the back, normally they have the number of ponies on the set. Oh, this is my other cat, Farley. Hi, Farley. So normally there's all the ponies in the set. So you'll notice on the back of this one, it only has Applejack. So that seems to indicate to me that they only intend to do the one pony crossover. There's a window. So on the other side, normally we have the list of ponies available. In this case, we actually have a quote from the show. I don't really think it's very spoilery. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, Stranger Things times My Little Pony. All the pink in the world can't disguise the irrefutable fact that castles and centaurs and dragons and magic and all standard nerd tropes. Ergo, My Little Pony is nerdy. Ergo, you, Erica, are a nerd. Said by the character Dustin Henderson. This is a very interesting quote. Hello. It's unusual to have both of them up here at the same time. Well, there he goes. Okay, so this is very interesting quote. I don't know anything about how much My Little Pony is going to be in the season 3, but just from the quote, it's interesting that it mentions centaurs. There is only one character who is a centaur in My Little Pony, and that is Tirak, who is the villain of the original first My Little Pony special, which, if you are new to My Little Pony and you have not watched the original My Little Pony special, which usually you can find listed as Rescue at Midnight Castle, that's an or Firefly's Adventure. It's had a couple of names, but that is arguably, in my opinion, one of the darkest that My Little Pony has ever been, and is very 80s. So it might be worth a watch. It's my personal favorite. Of course, that's may very much involve nostalgia, but it's my favorite My Little Pony animation. I loved it as a kid. I just loved it, and I grew up in the 80s, so there you go. But I point out that it's interesting because Applejack did feature. It was the only animation that Applejack the character featured in, and it's, I don't even know if I want to say it. There are certain clips that I have my suspicion. If they end up using a clip from one of the My Little Pony animations, there is one in particular that involves Applejack, and I could very much see how that might tie into Stranger Things. It's toward the end of the special. I don't know that I want to say too much, because I feel like if you extrapolate it far enough, it could be considered a spoiler if what I think is true. But you'd have to really know My Little Pony and then combine that with Stranger Things, and I have my theories, but I won't expand on it other than to say I suspect that there might be at least a tiny clip from the Rescue at Midnight Castle special shown in the Stranger Things season 3, but I could be entirely wrong. We don't really even know if this pony will be featured at all. What we do know is that there is a backpack which is also being produced, which is based on a My Little Pony backpack that was produced in 1990. I have seen evidence that maybe they tried to get an original one that would have been produced in 1985, but we don't know for certain what happened with that. But what we do know is that the character Erica, who is referenced in the quote, is going to be a My Little Pony fan, and that she does have a backpack that is based on a vintage My Little Pony backpack, and that they have reproduced it, and it is been seen on eBay. Nobody knows at this point where it's going to be available. Target's a good guess, but there's no way of knowing how much it will be or where it will be. Once I know all that info, I'll put that in the description. So if you see this video later, you can check back there. But that I'm really looking forward to the backpack. As soon as I find it, I'll get it. So back to this pony. I'm going to go ahead and open her up so we can take a look at her. Right, she comes with a blue comb and a blue tail ribbon, which if you're not familiar with Basic Fun, this ribbon is just attached to an elastic which is tied around a tail, so it's not really tied. Okay, so this is really awesome and unusual. It's an unusual color scheme, so I know a lot of collectors are going to be all over this. Hello, thank you. First thing I will say is that her color it just looks gray to me. I mean, yeah, it just looks like a general gray color, but her tail looked very black in the packaging, but when you get it out, it is just a really deep purple. You can also see that her eyes are kind of blued out. They usually have a black pupil, but they're kind of blue. I do have a vintage, this is a vintage Applejack. So you can compare her here with the original. This does feel to be about the same quality as the other My Little Pony reproductions that Basic Fun has been putting out. The hair feels nice and thick. But you can also see here how the symbol is upside down on the Stranger Ponies pony. She does not have freckles. The original vintage and also the reproduction Applejack has freckles, and this one does not. She lost her freckle. She does not have bangs. It's all the same length. So this one would have a forelock. So this one has, her hair is all the same length all the way down. It's a little crunchy, but that'll come out if you want to. Now that I'm comparing them together now, because I've heard somebody else say that this was like a powder blue, and it, now that I look at it compared to the orange, she does look like a powdered blue, but when I'm looking at her just as is, it looks more gray to me. So it's I guess it's somewhere between a powdered blue and gray. On the other hand, if you, I don't know if y'all can see this on the on my cloth here, but she's very close to this moonstone that's on my sheet, only a little lighter. So this is a really awesome pony. It's an awesome tie-in for anybody who's a fan of My Little Pony and a fan of Stranger Things. If you're a fan of My Little Pony and you're not a fan of Stranger Things, I didn't think I'd like it, but I ended up loving it. So I'd say give it a try if you have the opportunity. And I can't wait for the backpack to come out. And if there's anything else, I suspect there might be a watch or a bracelet of something. I might also do another video when the season 3 drops, depending on how much My Little Pony is featured. If it's featured a lot, I may go through and we'll look at all the references. But if it's just a little bit, then I may not. We'll see. But this extra pony here, I am going to give this one away. So here is how you can win this pony. You have to be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment in this video telling me who your favorite character is on Stranger Things if you've seen it, or if you could have another pony like this that's oddly colored, tie in to some TV show, not necessarily Stranger Things. What pony would you like in what TV show? So leave a comment with one of those things, and also you have to be subscribed to my channel. And I will let this go until July the 4th when season 3 comes out, and I also happen to be off, so I'll have time. I will go through and do a drawing, and I will make that announcement on my Instagram, which is also Sunset's Ponies. And then the winner of that drawing will get this pony, and I will ship it to you. So, thank you for joining me today. It's awesome to have this new and weird, okay, that is my cat trying to open the door behind my setup here. So, sorry. Anyway, this is awesome. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, get your name in the drawing, and I will see y'all again later. Bye.